Right now at 4, new details on a deadly crash on I-95 that ended with a car falling off the interstate and onto the street below. What authorities are now saying may have led up to this wreck that claimed the lives of 2 brothers.
A teacher charged. A local gym teacher is behind bars this afternoon. What we are learning about his alleged crimes.
And back in business, an area attraction closed for 5 years is now welcoming guests once again. We'll have a first look inside the renovated Atlantic City Aquarium and tell you why it took so long to reopen this space.
NBC 10 News starts now.
20 minutes of nonstop news begins with a look at the wet conditions lingering across our area this afternoon. We found plenty of people and cars out in the rain along Westchester Pike and Haverford. It has been a gloomy and gray day. Here is a live look at conditions around our region right now. Thank you for joining us this afternoon inside our new NBC 10 studios at the Comcast Technology Center. I'm Jacqueline London.
I'm Tracy Davidson, and our studio isn't the only new addition that we are debuting today.
Right.
We also want to welcome First Alert meteorologist Robert Johnson. He is tracking the rain for us this afternoon. Robert?
And what a day to start. New studio, some active weather. So we're just getting rocking and rolling here as we overlook Broad Street and, of course, City Hall in the distance. And it has been a chilly, damp start to the work week. 52 degrees right now and a breeze coming out of the southwest at 10 miles per hour. That wind will kick up later on tonight into tomorrow. However, we're already starting to see some clearing well off to the northwest in Berks County and the Lehigh Valley as the clouds exit to the east. Still a light, persistent shower moving through Trenton, lower Bucks County, through Neshaminy, Fairless Hills, Ben Salem, off into Philadelphia. Some breaks in the shower activity off into Delco and into Wilmington. The rain, as mentioned on NBC 10 News at 11 a.m., has been more persistent south and east of I-95 through South Jersey into Delaware, down the Jersey Shore and across the Delaware beaches. So by the time we get to 6:30, 7 o'clock, the rain is out of here. The breeze starts to pick up a bit, and we're going to have a gorgeous sunset around 7:17 this evening with those high, thin clouds rolling through. Grab a jacket if you're headed out in the city this evening. By 8 o'clock, 52 degrees. By 10 p.m., 49. Feels more like 47 degrees. Tomorrow, it's brighter, it's warmer, and also going to be breezy. 9 a.m., 46 degrees. By 12 noon, 54. Loads of sunshine, and we'll top out around 60 with winds sustained out of the west from 10 to 15, but gusting as high as 25 to 30 miles per hour. We'll talk more about some warmer weather on the way and our next shot of a shower in the complete 10-day, guys. Back to you.
And we'll chat more about you in a few minutes too, Robert. Welcome to the team. I know a lot of viewers are curious about you. We'll hear from you soon. Remember, you can stay on top of the weather with our free NBC 10 app. You can also set up personalized weather alerts to get updates on the forecast sent straight to your phone.
The search is on for the teenager who shot and killed another teen on a SEPTA bus. Philadelphia police say it started as a fight, and when one of them got off the bus, he fired a single shot back into the bus, and that bullet hit and killed a 15-year-old boy. NBC 10's Miguel Martinez-Valle is live at Philadelphia Police Headquarters with the latest on the search. Miguel?
Yeah, Tracy, police, they are still looking for that teen. No arrests just yet after he shot the gun inside the bus, killing 15-year-old Zakir Whitfield from Upper Darby. Those who knew him mourning his loss while also trying to prevent more violence in the community.
15-year-old Zakir Whitfield dead after being shot on a SEPTA bus in West Philly over the weekend. Today, the teen school, Upper Darby High School, provided counselors for students and teachers to talk to, asking for thoughts and prayers for those involved and those who knew the victim, including his peers.
He was like, Mom, that was my friend. I went to school with him. I was like, really? She was like, yeah, I went to school with him. And she started crying. And I was like, wow, it's getting too close to home now.
Police say the shooting happened Saturday afternoon when a group of teens started fighting on a SEPTA bus. When the bus stopped near 40th and Girard, police say one of those young people walked to the exit and fired a single shot back into the bus, then ran away. Whitfield was hit in the chest and died from the shooting.
I don't actually know how this happened, what came to the argument or whatever, but I do know he wasn't a kid that was in the street or violent or, into any of them things. But I just know you can be at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Malika Holmes runs the West Philly organization Mr. Nonviolence. She says she knows the victim and his family, and they're leaning on their Muslim faith to get through this.
Her faith keeps her strong.
Meanwhile, the organization aims to help the community, especially young people, process trauma, de-escalate fights and altercations, and get to the root of their problems before they turn violent.
You need to sit down and talk to them and understand them to see, what can we do to make them better? So instead of talking at them, you need to talk to them.
And as police continue the search for the shooter, they are offering a $20,000 reward for any information that leads to an arrest and conviction in this case. I'll send it back to you. I'm Miguel Martinez-Valle, NBC 10 News.
Hopefully someone will come forward. Miguel, thanks. We're learning new information about a fatal crash on I-95 that involved 4 brothers from New Jersey. 2 of those brothers were killed, 23-year-old Aaron Davis and his brother, 22-year-old Joshua Davis. Pennsylvania State Police say witnesses saw the car they were in racing on the interstate before it crashed Friday night in Port Richmond. Investigators say the car hit a barrier and fell off the side of 95 near Castor Avenue and Richmond Streets and landed on the street below. Police say Aaron and Joshua were not wearing seatbelts and were thrown from the car. The 2 other brothers, who are both 18, were seriously hurt, and a dog was also killed in the crash. We're told a 5th brother was away at school at the time of the crash.
A gym teacher in Delaware is behind bars this afternoon. Officials say he sent sexually explicit texts and Instagram messages to an 8th grader at his school. NBC 10 Delaware reporter Tim Furlong has more on the details of the case and reaction from families in Newcastle.
To me, it's one of the most heinous, sickening things that a man can do.
That is the general reaction from parents who are learning the details of the messages 39-year-old gym teacher Ricardo Vila allegedly sent to an 8th grade girl here at George Reed Middle School. I won't give you the most graphic details from the court paperwork, but I can tell you the teacher, who was also a JV assistant baseball coach at William Penn High School, allegedly sent suggestive and explicit photos of himself and made explicit comments to the child over the last couple weeks. I'm told a school leader who learned of the messages immediately called state police. Vila is now charged with 17 felonies.
I can't understand what happens because, like I said, I taught for 38 years and I never had any idea about doing something like this.
I'm told Vila is being held on $634,000 bail. The Attorney General's office says if you have information about this case or information about other possible victims, you should give their office a call or call Delaware State Police.
Right. Anytime that we have somebody who's in a position of trust, who's charged with anything in the ballpark of these charges, we have a responsibility to make sure that we look for any potential victims that are out there.
To be clear, prosecutors at this time have not charged Vila with any physical contact with the child. And while the Colonial School District can't say much about the case, the Attorney General's office says they are still investigating and will follow any leads that come up as to Vila's time at other workplaces or right here at this middle school.
Yeah, it definitely is a sad day for the George Reed family.
In Newcastle, Tim Furlong, NBC 10 News.
In Camden County, the California branch wildfire is 100% contained, but the flames aren't out yet. According to the New Jersey Forest Fire Service, that fire burned more than 2,300 acres at Wharton State Forest in Waterford Township. Several roads that were closed are now open again. Officials say they expect the smoke to stick around until later in the week when more significant rain falls. Fire crews will stay on scene until then. The cause of the fire is still being investigated.
Philadelphia Mayor Sherelle Parker has long promised to provide 30,000 new and preserved housing units across the city. Well, today the mayor shared how she plans to keep that promise and how she plans to pay for it through a $2 billion investment in the Housing Opportunities Made Easy, or HOME, initiative. NBC 10's Lauren Mayk is live in Kensington to explain. Walk us through this, Lauren.
Yeah, Tracy, so this is expected to be a big part of Mayor Parker's second year on the job. She wants the city to borrow $800 million to do this, but says it's really part of a $2 billion plan when you consider how much the land is worth here. Well, today we found out some of where that money would go and how it could affect neighborhoods across the city. In Philadelphia, the mayor is pitching a plan to give this city of neighborhoods more homes.
This plan is the roadmap to realize our vision for access to quality housing.
The plan is still coming together, but Mayor Parker laid out some of the goals and specific programs that could affect what you pay to buy a home or fix one up. Her plan sets a goal of 30,000 housing units, which she said today includes building 13,500 and preserving 16,500.
My hope is that this new plan can continue to stabilize or even grow our our home ownership rates.
But in the chamber today, Nora Lichtash and members of the Philadelphia Coalition for Affordable Communities, while applauding the focus on housing, would have preferred more help for the poorest Philadelphians.
For us, there was too much focus on home ownership and these kind of middle neighborhoods. We believe there need to be resources for middle neighborhoods, but we also believe there need to be resources for the folks who aren't in the middle neighborhoods right now because they can't afford them.
Parker's plan aims to make aspects of home ownership more affordable, proposing new programs, including one that gives matching funds to help neighbors boost the curbside appeal of their blocks, and a new mortgage program that lets homebuyers put 3% down and not have to pay private mortgage insurance or PMI. The mayor also proposing help for finding help on your home.
This program will help Philadelphians find pre-qualified contractors, whether it's for plumbing or electrical. This is how we can prevent our seniors from getting scammed.
Who would be responsible for example, that contractor list? Who's going to put that together? Who's going to make sure that people are qualified?
That's a question for the administration, right, that I asked that you ask them. And again,
what would you be comfortable with?
That's a process where, one, the administration has put forth their plan, and so now we as council have to review how we're going to actually execute the plan.
Council President Kenyatta Johnson saying they'll want to make sure things are equitable, transparent, and done with accountability. And I did get a little more information from the mayor's office this afternoon on that contractor list. I'm told that would be handled by the Office of Planning and Development. You heard the council president there talking about what comes next. This housing plan will be reviewed by city council alongside that big budget plan over the next several months. Live in East Kensington, I'm Lauren Mayk, NBC 10 News.
Yeah, no doubt it's needed, but lots of details to work out. Lauren, thanks. A local government employee is now facing charges after she claimed someone put a noose in her desk. Turns out she planted it. That's according to Allentown police, who say LaTarsha Brown told officers in January that she found the noose when she showed up to work. Police said Brown was the only employee not to consent to a swab for DNA testing. After an investigation, police obtained a warrant to get Brown's DNA, and police say test results on the noose were a match to Brown's. Today, she's now charged with making a false report to police and tampering or fabricating physical evidence.
No other person's DNA profiles found on the evidentiary items involved in this investigation.
As of this afternoon, Brown is still employed by the city. Police did not reveal a motive.
A federal judge is blocking DOJ from getting the personal information from millions of federal workers. The Trump administration wanted access to data from 3 key agencies: the Department of Education, the Office of Personnel Management, and the Department of Treasury. The judge from Maryland said she believes President Trump's executive order to follow DOJ's agenda likely violated the Privacy Act. The judge said DOJ must execute in accordance with the law, and that likely did not happen.
LaSalle University alumni hope the school's new head basketball coach can take the Explorers into March Madness. New head coach Darius Nichols was introduced on campus this morning. He spent 4 years as the coach at Radford University. He also played hoops at West Virginia University, and he talked about replacing a legend, retired coach Fran Dunphy.
The amount of texts and phone calls I got just talking about how good of a guy Coach Dunphy is, people I didn't even know. And I don't know Coach Dunphy well, but he's been, since I've taken this job, he's been unbelievable. So, Coach, I appreciate you. Let's give him a round of applause.
Coach Dunphy retired at the end of the season after 3 years with LaSalle and more than 30 years coaching schools around Philadelphia. All right, let's talk baseball. It is almost time for baseball. Phillies fans, the wait's almost over. 3 days before the Phils open their season on the road against the Nationals. And it's a game you're going to see right here on NBC 10. Today, the Phillies wrapped up spring training in Clearwater with a win over the Tampa Bay Rays.
And they finalized their opening day roster. NBC Sports Philadelphia's John Clark joins us now with more on the opening day excitement. John.
Yeah, they are leaving sunny Clearwater and coming up to Philly with the rain and the clouds. Hopefully it doesn't stay that way. Phillies are on their way back to Philly. They're going to be back in town tonight. They finished up their spring in Clearwater today. The season opener is just 3 days away in Washington, and the Phillies finished up winning 4 of 5 games to finish their spring. So today against the Rays, Trey Turner got a hit in the leadoff spot. Kyle Schwarber had been the leadoff man the last 5 games, but Trey was in the leadoff spot today. And Phillies manager Rob Thompson says he may go with Trey Turner leading off against lefty pitchers. And here's Kyle Schwarber today. He also got a hit. He was in the cleanup spot today. Rob Thompson says Kyle will be the leadoff hitter against right-handed pitchers. So it's going to be an interesting way to go about it if he switches back and forth between leadoff hitters. Rob says he hasn't decided on what he's going to do just yet. Kyle Schwarber tells us he is not pushing for a spot.
I'm, player number 12, right? And that wherever my name's going to be written in the lineup, I'm going to go out there and do it to the best of my abilities. And, I think I prefer to be playing for the Phillies and prefer to be, trying to be a quality, productive player for these guys. So wherever that is, that's where I'm going to be.
Very diplomatic there. Kyle Schwarber. That's good, but this is not good. Taijuan Walker gave up 4 more runs today, so he gave up 6 hits and he had 3 walks in just 4 innings. So over the last 2 starts, he's given up 10 runs and 15 hits after a really good spring. Now, Taijuan is going to be the 5th starter. You're going to see him starting in the rotation because Ranger Suarez right now, he's going to start the season on the injured list, and it looks like Ranger is going to miss at least the first few weeks of the season. And Zach Wheeler will be on the mound when the Phillies start their season on Thursday, and the Phillies set their roster as they come up here. Cody Clemens got that final spot. We'll have a lot more coming up at 5 o'clock. But I think the weather's going to start to get a little better than today, getting ready for the season opener. Am I right?
Yeah.
Got to have good vibes from the weather people as well.
We definitely have good vibes. We definitely have. Thanks, John.
You got it.
And as we said, Phillies opening day is Thursday against the Nationals. Count on NBC 10 for everything you need to know. Join us at 3 o'clock for our Welcome Back Phillies special. We have exclusive interviews with players and Phillies chairman John Middleton. Then you can watch the Phillies' first game of the season at 4 p.m. right here on NBC 10. And once they wrap up the 3-game series in Washington, the Fightins return home to Citizens Bank Park. The home opener is 1 week from today. A new season of Bedlam at the Bank begins with a series against the Rockies, and you can watch it right here on NBC 10.
And still ahead this afternoon, we'll take you inside the Phillies program, helping kids learn a love for the game and lifelong lessons beyond the field. That's coming up at 4:45. And it is a good thing the Phillies aren't playing today here. Yeah. Because look at that rainy look at Citizens Bank Park in South Philadelphia. It has been wet all day long.
I know, and we heard John Clark say, well, hopefully the weather can be better for this.
Yeah.
And the person who was talking about in the beginning is our new NBC 10 meteorologist, Robert Johnson. We want you to get to know him a little bit better. Welcome to the team. It's so great to have you.
It's so good to be here, guys. And, being from here, from Philly, Northeast Philly, growing up in Somerton, It is a dream come true to come back home.
And you go way back with all of us.
Yeah, I do.
Right? I mean, we have pictures. When was that?
Yeah, I think that was 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, so more than a decade ago. And then with Jackie, I think you just arrived at the station at that point, shortly after.
Gosh.
Yeah. And then with Glenn Hurricane Schwartz, many of you remember Sheena Parveen. In fact, Glenn was my first mentor in meteorology, wrote my recommendation letter for Penn State, and I was texting him earlier today about, me starting here at the station, and he was watching earlier, so feels great to be back home. So very blessed.
Fantastic. We're so happy to have you with us.
Yeah, Glenn's excited. We all are. I know your family and friends are watching. How great for them to have you back home.
Yeah, they've been texting me all day long, like, what are you going to be on? What are you going to be
Nice.
on? So we're watching. So weekdays at 11 a.m. will be my normal schedule here. So I am so excited to be here and just so blessed and grateful.
We're happy to have you.
Yes.
And to start the day, you have a
look
lot to talk about.
We sure do. It's a jam-packed 10-day forecast. Here's the view of Center City, and you can't even see the tops of the Comcast Center and the Comcast Technology Center, all thanks to these low clouds. But this system is pushing out, and brighter and warmer days are on the way. Brighter and breezy for tomorrow, seasonable later this week with temperatures hovering around the low low to mid 50s, and then much warmer by the time we get to the weekend, but it does come with the chance of some showers. We'll have to watch for that. Currently 52 degrees with the wind sustained out of the southwest at 10 miles per hour, but that 52, even though it's been chilly today, not quite as chilly as yesterday. This is 3 degrees warmer compared to this time yesterday. Already starting to get some clearing in Berks County, the Lehigh Valley, as the system exits to the east. Still some light showers from Trenton through parts of Philly, all the way down into Wilmington, and the rain has been most persistent in Delaware, South Jersey, especially so down the Jersey Shore from Cape May all the way off into Atlantic City as well, and all of this sliding to the northeast. So by the time we get to 6, 7 o'clock, the rain's out of here. A beautiful sunset on the way around 7:17, and then as we take you through 9:30, temperatures in the upper 40s and low 50s, but the breeze will pick up overnight. So overnight tonight, 42 degrees. We're drying out, partly cloudy with a light breeze coming out of the west from 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for tomorrow, warmer and, yes, of course, brighter. 60 degrees in Rehoboth Beach tomorrow, 59 for Wildwood, Vineland, New Jersey, 62, 60 in Philadelphia, 62 for Newark, Delaware. We'll slide to the north and northwest. Doylestown, 60, 61 in Cherry Hill. And then in the Lehigh Valley, Allentown getting up to a high of 58 degrees with more sunshine around. It's going to be a breezy start tomorrow morning, but then winds will be gusting up to 30 miles per hour during the afternoon, so hold on to your hat. Then a very weak disturbance slides through come late tomorrow night. We'll watch for a few showers mainly south of Philadelphia, especially so in Jersey and down the Jersey Shore. So we'll watch for that very closely. Otherwise, we're going to be dry for the next several days. The exclusive 10-day on 10, brighter and breezy tomorrow with a high of 60 degrees, 55 on Wednesday, Thursday 53. Friday, we add in a few more clouds, 59 degrees. And then by the weekend, it gets warmer. Saturday, 67, a few showers on Sunday, 65. Showers possible even for the Phillies home opener. We'll watch that, 69 degrees. I know, bear of bad news. April begins Tuesday, and then we're back into the 50s next Wednesday into Thursday. Jackie and Tracy, back on over to you.
We got time for that to change,
Yes.
right? You just
Fingers
keep us
crossed.
posted, Robert. All right. Well, up close and personal with life under the sea. For the first time in 5 years, the Atlantic City Aquarium is welcoming visitors. Coming up at 4:30, we'll have your first look inside and explain why it took so long to get that attraction open again.
Upgrades at the airport. If you plan to fly out of Philadelphia International for your spring or summer getaway, you might notice some changes. We'll tell you about the new additions still ahead. And this.
The Wabash Cannonball.
Singing a new tune, a music teacher in Montgomery County followed her passion, and now it's helping to change the lives of others. We'll have her story ahead at 4:55. But first, we wanted to show you around our new home.
Yeah, you may have noticed that we're in a new space today. The NBC 10 studios has undergone a major makeover. We're showing it to you for the first time today. Our new studio features 30,000 pounds of set pieces and equipment, 229 LED displays, 85 studio lights, a new floor, new anchor desk, just to name a few things. We want to thank all the people from NBC 10 Telemundo 62 and several outside groups who spent hundreds of hours putting it all together. They work quickly, but not this quickly. No, just a little time lapse for you.
They worked hard, but here's a look at the finished product from above. You can see some of those lights, as we just mentioned. And speaking of lights, keep your eyes peeled. The new studio can change colors. Oh, it can. From red to blue and everything in between. And here's a look at the studio in action. Viewers got their first live look this morning on NBC 10 News at 11 with Johnny Archer. And now that all the work is done, we look forward to delivering the news that matters to you from our new home here at NBC 10.
Ten-day weather on NBC 10, sponsored by Rand and Mike Spear, the accident lawyers. Demand Rand.